I don't know about you guys, but I know that my short to medium term memory is pretty good, and I remember everybody spurging out about the different election lawsuits that were happening in the wake of the November 3rd presidential election, and all the different accusations that were flowing around, and everything just being slapped down as being disinformation, and everything was getting fact-checked left, right, and center. But I don't remember them spurging out this hard. In fact, the Democrats right now, they're launching their own insurrection. You don't believe me? We're playing by their definition of an insurrection. We had an actual elected official lead people into the Senate chambers in order to protest something. She got arrested for it. Is she going to get impeached? I just want to see both sides of the aisle treated fairly on this one. And now clearly it's even about something that you can at least link back to the insurrection, the most dangerous day in history, January 6th. It's all over these election integrity bills. Why are they doing that? Oh, for very obvious reasons. So we'll get to Maricopa County very shortly, but I want to tell you what's going on at the Capitol today. U.S. Capitol Police on Thursday arrested Representative Joyce Beatty, a Democrat from Ohio. Okay, listen, there was nothing wrong with your election. Nobody has any questions about what happened in Ohio, so I don't know why you're spurging out so hard. During a protest at the Hart Senate office building in the Capitol. Photos taken by media outlets show Beatty, the chair of the Congressional Black Congress, being led away by a female officer while in handcuffs. A very diverse interaction. I'm sure that was greatly appreciated. The protest appeared to be about voting rights and demonstrating against GOP-led state legislators passing election integrity measures in recent months. I stand in solidarity with black women and allies across the country, yada yada yada. I really don't give a fuck. It's the exact same shit regurgitated over and over and over again. Listen, just come out and say it. We don't like people pushing these integrity laws because minorities are too stupid to get voter IDs. That's what they're saying with this stuff, okay? I'm not saying that. I think that that's abhorrent. But at the root of this, at the base of this, you have to do everything in your power. You have to actively think about avoiding doing something without having proper identification on you on a daily basis. If you drive, you gotta have an ID. If you purchase liquor, you gotta have an ID. If you try to do anything at the bank, you gotta show ID. Literally, basic everyday fucking shit for people, you gotta have identification. So why is voting the only thing that's out there? Something you shouldn't have to prove who you are. The most fundamental aspect of a free and fair democracy, republic, whatever you want to call it, is voting. Why shouldn't that be so secure? But then again, yeah, you'd have this same retard. It's like, oh yeah, this is all about minority voices, and it shouldn't be easier to get a gun than it should be to vote. Somebody who probably thinks that clips go into their AR-14s. Congresswoman also suggested in a statement that Senate Republicans should not be able to use the 60-vote filibuster hurdle to block a voting bill that was passed by a Democrat-led House earlier this year. Beatty was seen on video chanting "end the filibuster" with other protesters. Yeah, just because you can't get your own way, because some funky shit is continuing to happen. Yesterday, after I was done wrapping up, I just wanted to see if I would have missed anything for the day after everything was all posted. And then I seen this pop up that, oh, okay, the Arizona Senate is going to have some preliminary results, and they're going to hold a little hearing earlier this morning. And by little hearing, that's not doing it justice, because while they aren't claiming that these little mishaps, we'll call them, have benefited one side or another, all we know is that there's either gross negligence or gross incompetence when it comes to counting the votes there. So we got a couple of little videos to play for you. I'll play this one, give you a little commentary, give a little bit of background on what we just seen, and then we're going to play the other one because they all just kind of play into one another and gets to the heart of why this is causing such the reaction it has.
DSD, it means that it's actually the original ballot. And you'll notice that the last column is a serial number, but they're in groups of 3, which shouldn't really happen. So we have 2 original ballots that have the same exact serial number, and we have only one that was duplicated from it. And these are just a handful of examples that we have that go through it. And so we have a whole bunch of ballots that also don't have any serial number of them, so it's quite possible that for the second one with the same serial number, there's another one that matches up with it that literally doesn't have a serial number on it. But it creates a lot of time in difficulty in resolving these issues, get DSD.
Like the dude said towards the end there, this is just a handful of examples, but as you can see, okay, you have ballots that were counted in the ID box. You have the type, so you got duplicated, I believe that means destroyed, DSD, and then you have the serial number. Okay, so you got duplicates, and then the serial number, and then you'll notice that there's 444, 3 4s, 3 5s, 3 6s, and then 3 29s at the end. That's just a handful of examples. Okay, what does that really mean? Well, some of those ballots got counted a couple of different times. Who are they for? Don't know. And did they get counted? Well, we'll see in the final results, but these are preliminary results for the time being. So in the next one here, we're talking about the authenticity of ballots, I do believe. So it's another 45-second clip. I'll just let her play.
If you scroll down in the PDF to the next section, we actually have 2 batches here. We're still running this process through all the batches, but this graphic, you want to be in the bullseye. The bullseye in the center is actually the check marks on how offset those things should be. And just to be specific, from a calibration standpoint, I think it's supposed to be within 100% of in it, and we made our box about 300%. From the way this is calibrated. And you'll see that the average is actually, take on the top right-hand corner, the average on this is actually 1,024%, and the worst ballot was 3,200%. You can see there's 2 different batches that we have in here as examples. If you scroll down...
So they're scanning batches. They didn't have calibrated machines. None of the results were even remotely close, okay? You're supposed to be within 100%. What happens? Maybe 300% most of the time. We'll just skip ahead a little bit to get to that little still there. As you can see, okay, you want to be within that little bullseye in the middle there. But where's a vast majority of all of those dots? Not in the bullseye, not in the bullseye, okay? And that's just a couple of instances, okay? Like I said, we're not going to have any firm results, total results, until a little bit later. But this is already just making people spurg the fuck out. Like the Maricopa County, just their Twitter account, oh my god. 4 hours ago is when they started to tweet about this, at least from the time of recording here. So, okay, oh my god, there's coof cases and 7 deaths. That's cool. And then, oh my god, they just went on a fucking spree. It really doesn't matter because it just reads like the journal of a 12-year-old girl who just got her heart broke. So then it just continues to fucking go. And these people, they just won't let up. They just won't let up. To be clear, the people hired by the Arizona Senate leadership to supposedly bring integrity to our elections are just instead bringing incompetence. As they said 20 minutes ago, when this hearing was hours ago at this point, it was supposed to be 10 o'clock local time, and it only ran for about an hour, but yeah, all the way up to 20 minutes ago, yeah, they're still big mad about this. And that's just the preliminary results, okay? And then we also touched yesterday on a few things with the Fulton County results, okay? Numbers weren't quite adding up there, but we didn't have anything firm because the audit is still ongoing. And back to Twitter, once again, there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud in Fulton County, Georgia, according to fact checkers and journalists, you know, the people that are right at the top of everybody's trust list, right? Obviously. So then you got, oh yeah, people from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, total sacks of shit. Washington Post, Philip Bump. Oh my god, isn't that asshole that Crowder put on blast for just being a total partisan hack? The Georgia Recorder, same thing as the Atlanta Journal-Chronicle. And then Twitter just sourcing their own information. Oh, officials say ballot safe after alarm at election facility. Yeah, because they got to loop in different accounts. It's weird why they don't want to talk about the evacuation that happened at, what was that, the State Farm Arena one night in Georgia. You guys remember the old stories, right? But they are out in full fucking force. And what can they do? Just say, oh, there's no evidence, it doesn't exist. Yeah, but the audit's not done yet. Not everybody has come to the full final conclusion. So why are you spurging out so hard? Oh, it's because this is launching into a much more comprehensive effort, actually. Oh yeah. Maricopa County auditors seek ballot envelope images, spunk logs after discovering discrepancies. Yep. The preliminary results ended up uncovering a lot more than what they anticipated, so we're going to need some more information. Teams conducting a forensic audit at Arizona's largest county said on July 15th that they want more items to complete their review, which has turned up several major discrepancies. The auditors, led by Florida-based cyber ninjas, yes, there's more teams than that, and they did say that as well, are hoping to receive ballot envelope images, router images, Splunk logs, trash data, that's what that is, hard drives that contain information about the 2020 election in Maricopa County, and details on the county's policies and procedures as they try to complete a review that started nearly 3 months ago, yes, and kept getting railroaded at every fucking instance. Now just imagine if they were allowed to do a signature match. Oh, the fucking spur gout. Oh, God, that would have done wonders, right? But I digress. Doug Logan, the CEO of Cyber Ninjas, that's a new name, told senators at the Arizona state capitol during the hearing that auditors can find no record of the county sending more than 74,000 mail-in ballots. Ben Cotton, CEO of Cipher, a subcontractor, working on the audit, said the analysis of the election management system and network uncovered severe cybersecurity problems, including that antivirus programs aren't up to date. The hearing came after Arizona State Senate President Karen Fann, whose Republican caucus authorized the audit late last year, said the auditor's ballot count produced a different number than the county's count. Yup, touched on that yesterday as well. Logan said the discrepancy with mail-in ballots records should trigger a canvassing proposal that was put on hold under pressure from the Department of Justice. Yeah, the big one. The U.S. Department of Justice. The one that's quaking in their fucking boots, even though if numbers end up changing, everybody's still going to be there. There's just going to be questions. And I think that fence around the Capitol building, which is still there, by the way, is probably going to get another 10 feet higher. And then we're going to be seeing a lot more national security guards because they're going to have some explaining to do. And yeah, it looks like that's going to be going forward. Senate President Karen Fann said the legislature needs more materials and data from Maricopa County for an unprecedented and controversial. It's only controversial if you're, the Arizona People's Republic, fuck them, of the 2020 election results that is heading into a third month. Yeah, because there's a lot of ballots and a lot of images and a lot of data to process, you tard. Fann said during a hearing at the Capitol on Thursday that efforts to obtain those items likely would end up in a courtroom. Also, during the hearing, the Senate's top contractor on the review recommended reviving plans to go door to door. The Senate had put forth an effort to dispatch canvassers on hold after the U.S. Department of Justice raised concerns about the amount of voter intimidation and violate federal civil rights prosecution. Oh no, but it was fine when other states were going out there just clearing up the little discrepancies that were on ballots. You know, that little thing we were talking about before, ballot curing, that was happening. I remember specifically in Georgia. Now it's legal there and they're allowed to do it. That's fine, but whenever you want to clear up some discrepancies and, just double check with people, just go, hey, you still alive in there? And it's all of a sudden the big bad for them. Interesting. Very interesting. And they're literally trying everything to avoid having to reconcile with these results. Like, I'm not saying anything's going to change. I don't even know what the results are going to be. Nobody knows what the results are going to be because it's not all done yet. They're still trying to get more information, and that should be a good thing. Who's against this? Okay, I would want this, like I've said before, ad nauseum at this point. This should be happening after every single election. Double check, run the numbers, figure out what went wrong so it doesn't happen again in the future. So that there's no questions that the elections, once your ballot's cast, it's there, it's counted, it's not being diluted, it's not being elevated. It is one person, one vote, for whatever candidate you want. If you want to write in fucking Beyonce for president, be my goddamn guest. I just think that it would be the worst choice that you could possibly make outside of voting for the modern day Libertarian Party. But I digress. The Democrats are once again just trying to sue. She is a Karen. Katie Hobbs, the Secretary of State for Arizona. She's not allowed to sue anymore because she just kept throwing out these erroneous lawsuits that went absolutely nowhere. So she has her little subsidiaries trying to muck up the works even more. A judge rejected the Arizona Senate's motion to dismiss a lawsuit seeking the disclosure of records related to its 2020 audit in Maricopa County. American Oversight, a left-wing a left-leaning watchdog group filed a lawsuit seeking to force compliance with the Arizona's public records law, but attorneys for the GOP-led Arizona Senate argued that various documents and donor information sought in the case are not subject to public disclosure rules because they are held by Cyber Ninja, a private firm based in Florida, and its subcontractors. Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Michael Kemp said in his ruling on Thursday, which precedes an Arizona Senate hearing in the Audit's progress, that he completely rejects the arguments presented by the defendant's attorney. Nothing in the statute absolves the Senate's defendants' responsibilities to keep and maintain records for authorities supported by public monies by merely retaining a third-party contractor who in turn hires sub-vendors. So they're just trying to do anything, literally anything, to put the fucking brakes on this. Why? It's really hard to try to give them a fair and good faith argument. But when you keep trying to sue over the tiniest, minute little things, I just can't take you serious anymore. I really can't. And other states, other counties, they're looking at you. I'm waiting for the Wisconsin one because that one's going to be an entire shit show for a multitude of reasons. But then Pennsylvania is also heating up with Doug Mastriano's kind of grassroots level right now. It hasn't gone through the legislature. It hasn't been passed by any of the houses yet. They have the votes, they have the money from the state GOP and from people donating in order to do a full forensic audit. He was just right now asking for different counties if they'd like to participate, and they ain't going down without a fight. Got to give them that, I suppose. Pennsylvania County refuses participation in new 2020 election audit. You can refuse for so long, but eventually the justice system will work out. Hopefully. Potentially. At least one of 3 counties targeted for a forensic investigation of Pennsylvania's 2020 presidential election has said it will not allow access to its voting machines. Why? Why? Pennsylvania Senator Doug Mastriano, chair of the Intergovernmental Operations Committee, sent a letter to the election officials in 3 Pennsylvania counties, Philadelphia, York, and Tioga, requesting access to voting machines and information to be used as evidence in a forensic analysis of the 2020 election. Tioga County Commissioner decided not to provide access after receiving a directive from the Pennsylvania Department of State ordering county boards of elections not to provide any access to third parties seeking to examine the system or system components. Cool, well, you're going to have to comply with a subpoena, so whatever, if you want to make this difficult, that's all on you, pal. It further warned that if counties do not allow access, the voting equipment will be considered no longer secure or reliable to use in future elections. Exactly. If they can't check on the equipment that they paid for, then why the fuck are we still going to be allowed to let you use it? Begs the question now, really. We've been given the directive that we cannot give access or they will decertify our machines, Tioga County Solicitor Christopher Gabriel told the Epoch Times. The state did 2 audits after the election. Did they? Did they really? Did they do anything of consequence? Oh, yeah, no. I don't seem to remember in Pennsylvania at all whatsoever. Nothing was ever done, but, oh, what do I know? I just put out 3 fucking videos a day and I follow this stuff very closely, but, oh, my memory might mislead me. The state did 2 audits after the election. Nothing of significance was found. York and Philadelphia counties have not made their intentions public yet, but you could imagine if it's coming down from the state itself, the Department of State, they got some explaining to do, mostly because that Secretary of State, is that Jocelyn Benson, or is that... Right, I couldn't quite remember her name. It's another one of those Ks. Kathy Bookvar, the one who had to step down because she fucked up the statute of limitations case involving going between the Catholic Church and the kids trying to pursue some sort of restitution. Just that, though, nothing else, obviously. Yeah, no, she had to step down, so they got some interim dude in there for the time being, but we see how corrupt they were to begin with. Corrupt or incompetent, that's kind of what we're at right now, because we don't know for sure if it was corruption that was happening in Maricopa County or not, but we can speculate, of course. I think that's still allowed in today's day and age, but it doesn't look good. It does not look good for those Democrats. They are really fighting this incredibly hard. It's almost like they don't understand the laws, and they don't understand that, yeah, even if something did happen, if a bunch of people, you know, in a few different select areas, thought that that they decided that they needed to count things once, twice, 3 times, yeah, maybe there would be some repercussions, but at the end of the day, outside of just those little fucking useful idiots, nobody's going to be losing their job. So I don't know why they're getting their panties in such a bunch. I do, but we can't say it over here. I'll let you guys speculate on that one. I don't know where we're going next, but it's going to have something funky to do with, I think we're going to go to Cuba. We're going to check in with them. How about that? Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.